No matter where you go these days, I'm sure those amongst us who are observant enough will have noticed this new litter plaguing our streets. The infamous, disposable, single-use plastic vape. Even if it's not immediately obvious during the daytime, disposable vapes can be easily identified at night, usually identifiable by their blue light, and I'm sure almost everyone at this point has been out walking at night now and have noticed a small blue light on the ground in the distance. Yet another piece of litter lying around. Of course, it comes as no surprise with the continuous increase in popular demand for vaping as an alternative to cigarettes. Now with some 16,000 flavours being available, vaping has become very easily accessible for teenagers and young adults in general. This cheap, easily accessible and disposable model, compared to the more expensive, refillable traditional vape, has meant that one could buy a vape purely for going out on a Saturday night and easily not caring about bringing the vape home or even disposing of it properly, just discarding it on the ground. Even disposing of the vapes properly and not merely throwing them on the ground is still a complete and utter environmental disaster due to the lithium-ion batteries within the vapes. While much of the rhetoric in relation to saving the planet, namely reduce, reuse, recycle, has revolved around the idea of recycling batteries at designated recycling stations or asking the public to switch to rechargeable batteries altogether. Yet this is not the case with disposable vapes. They are still marketed as disposable, while also containing lithium batteries. Have we learned nothing? Of course, it's not just lithium-ion batteries that's in these vapes. There's also stainless steel, aluminium, and plastic. Yet again, progress made in terms of reusing, recycling, and maximising the resources and minerals we have seemingly has gone out the window for a quick nicotine hit and corporate greed once more. Typically, if someone puts a disposable vape into general waste, it will either go to a landfill or will be incinerated along with the rest of the waste. It is estimated that over 1 million vapes are disposed of each week, but only 30% of this ends up in recycling.
It's not looking good, Bev.
Over 168 million vapes are purchased in the UK every single year, and with just 1 million being disposed of per week, that still leaves 116 million disposable vapes unaccounted for. Much of these will just be lying around the house, hidden away in bedrooms, or even making up collages of different vapes as they are quite attractive due to their various colours. But there's still an awful lot missing and, in fact, gone to waste and, as most of you have seen, lying on the ground of our streets. It is estimated that 2 disposable vapes are thrown away every single second. The fact is, disposable vapes are just a cheap and convenient substitute for a nicotine hit when compared to incredibly expensive cigarettes. The average price for a disposable vape being £6 to £7 in the UK or €8 to €9, with many independent retailers doing 2 for £10 in the UK or say 2 for £15 in Ireland and other European countries. This is compared to the average price of a pack of 20 cigarettes being £13.25 in the UK or £15.40 in Ireland. It's just a no-brainer really that these disposable vapes are better for consumers, in terms of price at least. Vaping, as we know, has become a very popular and often seen as a risk-free, healthier alternative to cigarettes. But some recent studies have started to show that vaping could actually be linked to higher and earlier onset risks of cancer when compared to traditional cigarette smokers. But of course, how much of that is actually true and how much of that is just big cigarette trying to give out about vaping, I'll leave that up to you. Blah 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 blah. Don't you think so, Ted? While at the moment disposable vapes are a problem in terms of litter, it is mostly a very fixable one. Each part of the vape can be disposed of if done right and recycled. Throwing them on the street or into a general waste bin is selfish and environmentally ignorant. What it comes down to is the designers of the vapes at the end of the day. If the disposable vapes had a USB charge port or a refill slot like most common pod vapes, then there would at least be the reuse ability to them. They're practically the same product anyway. They contain the same electronics and the same liquid in them, but there's no reusability in the disposable vape. So what needs to happen? Well, of course, they need to be banned on a governmental scale. And I think in Ireland, we're slowly pushing towards the outright banning of these disposable vapes. But what do you think? Are you for or are you against disposable vapes being banned? Does the government need to step in? Or should people be simply allowed to police themselves or educated a bit more into the environmental impacts of not disposing properly? Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you all next time.